Hop out the back with a mop and I knock off the back of his top. Whether you lacking or not, shotters gon' come to your home and you getting whacked at the spot. Send a little bitch to the crib, you know that little hoe come back with a drop. Hit him in his head top, getting knocked. Stroke on BK, dead op. Boy on deck and he reckless, trying to get him wet, spin a check on the necklace. Ops in the jam get section, try to get sent PC for protection. I don't.
Hey yo, what up squad? Hey man, welcome back to HOODROK Entertainment, bro. What up Sweden? Hey look, I'm back with part I'm back with part 2 of the geography now that I put up last night. So I did part 1, go check that out, bro. I'll put that up at the end of this. Actually man, y'all niggas should just go check that out and then come back to this. It'll all make better sense. So anyway, Happy New Year everyone, bro. I hope everyone's got big plans for this year. I hope that everyone I wish everybody nothing but success, bro. I wish everybody nothing but the best, man, for this year and further on, bro. You know what's up. So, yo, we're gonna get into this. We ain't gonna mess around, bro. Part 2 geography now. Sweden. I did Germany. Bro. I did Germany this morning. So, yo, make sure you tap in and go and watch that. That's another dope one, bro. I learned a lot about Germany that I didn't know, bro. Like, I didn't know about all the different languages, all the different cultures. So, yo, let's get into this. You know what I'm doing, bro. I'm blazing. So, I'm gonna roll up, smoke with y'all. We're gonna watch the rest of this, bro. Sweden, man. Damn, let's do it.
I asked geography Johan to explain Swedish people and what they're like, and
just move this down a little bit more.
He described it something like this. A Swedish person is pretty reserved. They will definitely help you, but probably won't take the immediate initiative to help you. The way I see it, it's kind of like,
oh no, I hope I don't fall. Oh, I'm falling. Oh, and I dropped my wallet. And I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer. Can you help me or?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking about... Oh my god, yeah.
This nigga was really cool enough for help.
Back. Falling. Oh, and I dropped my wallet. And I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer. Can you help me or?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to help you?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Also, what are some other kind of taboos in Swedish culture? What do you think?
I guess when you get on the bus, if there is another available seat and you go sit next to someone, don't do that. Just don't.
You don't do that anyway, man. You don't do that anyway. Bruh. You see all the seats, nigga? Come on, homie.
Preferably none.
Explain, what is logom and jantelov?
It's a law that basically tells you that don't think you're better than anyone. It's like, don't tell people that you got good grades. Just get them and move on.
But
exactly.
You know, kind of let them see it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll call that. Oh shit. I'll call that quiet success, bro. Quiet achieving. You know what I mean? I do the same. Like when I quit smoking cigarettes, I didn't tell anyone I quit smoking cigarettes, bro. I quit smoking cigarettes for like 3 or 4 months before anyone even knew. Same with giving up alcohol. When I went on the mission to become alcohol free, you know what I mean? I went to rehab, all of that stuff, bro. I didn't tell anyone I was going on that journey. I waited till I had finished. And I still didn't really let anyone know, you know what I mean? I waited till I was in those positions where people were like, yo man, want to drink? Nah, bro, I don't drink no more. You know, things like that, bro. When I become a personal trainer, I didn't make that public knowledge until I had completed the courses and got my certificates, you know what I mean?
It's definitely based on status.
Lagom is this word that does not exist in English, and it basically means not too much, not too little, just the perfect amount. I would say that a Swedish person is generally intelligent. Is that for myself saying that?
Nah, it's just a result of our educational system.
Agriculture, jantelov, you're not allowed to do that, right?
Well, we're not allowed to brag, no, but now we're in America, so...
Well, that was a discussion. Any case, let's break down the population of Sweden.
Sweden has a population of about 10.25 million and has one of the oldest populations in the world at about 41 years of age on average. About 75% of the country claims to be ethnically Swedish, and this is where things get a little complicated. For the remaining 25%, the Swedish government doesn't have any official statistical data on foreign background, background, but what we do know is that of these people, about 2 million of them were born abroad, and about 600,000 were born in Sweden as second generation with foreign parents. We also know that as of 2020, due to the refugee crisis, the largest immigrant communities had origins mostly from Syria and Iraq, which surpassed Finland and Poland in the 21st century for the largest foreign-born communities.
Yeah, we'll talk about the refugee thing later. But in the meantime,
Sweden uses the Swedish krona as its currency.
And we use the type C and F plug outlets, and we drive on the right side of the road. But
Alright, so we drive on the left-hand side of the road. And here's our plugs. It's that way, actually. Yeah, here's our plugs.
But we used to drive on the left side until September 3rd, 1967.
When
shit. Is that right?
Högertrafikomläggningen was instituted.
and it was a crazy time. People were all confused and jamming into each other.
Oh,
In
bet.
Sweden, the official language is, shocker, Swedish.
But the funny thing is, even though Swedish originated and has pretty much always been spoken natively in Sweden, Swedish actually only became official in the country in 2009.
Damn!
Yeah, they kept kind of arguing about it. It was like,
No, it might be seen as more difficult for international issues. It might be seen as discriminatory, maybe, for those who don't speak Swedish. God!
So let's break this down. The country
Yeah,
is
that's what
called
they do.
Sweden. What the f*** do you think people should speak in Sweden?
And that's
Facts.
how Swedish became the official language of Sweden.
we've explained this before, but the three Scandinavian countries can all more or less understand each other. If you learn one, you can pretty much kind of communicate with the others. It's just, you know, when they hear Danish, it's like,
Oh, hey, Denmark. Interesting. And the interesting thing is that the Swedish language has pitches.
here's geography Marcus.
Really?
A little bit more.
So yeah, Swedish is a very hard language to learn. We also have pitch dialect. Some words look and are pronounced exactly the same, but have different meanings. So the word plan, it can mean a plan, like having a great
Maldi's the same. We have, so my native language, we have words that can be translated to 3 or 4 different English words, but we know what you mean depending on the context that you're saying it in, you know what I mean?
great plan. It can also mean pitch, like a football pitch. Fotbollsplan, banan, which means banana, but if you pronounce it banan, it means the track.
Thank you, Marcus.
In any case, on top of
Makes
that,
sense to
there are
me.
also 5 protected languages in Sweden. Finnish, Menkal, Sami, Romani, and Yiddish.
Finnish
Also,
as well.
Sweden has a lot of regional accents.
If she spoke her native language right now, or
You don't even say dialect, you say language.
native dialect, I wouldn't understand a word.
Say the most difficult southern Swedish thing you can say.
Okay, this is not my accent, okay? Disclaimer. Det är nämnt neutrality och köra rullebåt.
It is easy but difficult to drive a roller coaster.
Wheelbarrow, but that was really good.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, all right,
Yeah.
all right, all right.
You thought wheelbarrow was roller coaster. Whoa! In any case, Christianity was introduced in the 9th century. Most Swedes, regardless of their level of religious devotion or lack thereof, are at least registered with the Swedish Lutheran Church.
And like the Danes and
Alright.
Norwegians, they have their confirmation ceremonies at age 14 or 15.
In old times, ancient Swedes and the Norse people followed the Asatro religion. You know, where Thor, Odin, Loki, all of them
Yeah.
are from.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Sweden is a constitutional monarchy, although they are mostly seen as just figurehead celebrities.
Norse
with no
gods.
actual legislative power.
And today, the royal family is actually French descended.
For what it's worth, being the largest of the Scandinavian countries, Sweden has a lot on its plate.
In general, most people would say that the system works. Yes, we do have one of the highest life expectancies in the world at over 82 years.
People get
Oh,
paid to go to
shit.
schools they are accepted in.
Healthcare is free
For
for
real?
under 18. Dental is free for anyone under 23.
Otherwise, there are price caps for medical and pharmaceutical services, and they are usually cheap.
However, for the population, there is a bit of a shortage in medical facilities, and like most state-subsidized healthcare systems, wait times can be an issue sometimes, and they follow the 0-30-90-90 rule. This rule states that a person cannot wait more than 90 days to see a specialist and 90 days after diagnosis to receive surgery unless it is deemed an emergency. This means that the worst case scenario, potentially, it could take almost half a year to get treated.
This is one reason why 1 out of 10 Swedes actually prefer private insurance, which which was, you know, made available in 2010 rather than a universal healthcare system.
Otherwise, we aren't going to fully sugarcoat this episode. Everyone knows that Sweden has seen quite a few drastic changes in the past decade or so. During the 2014-15 refugee crisis, Sweden saw a wave of asylum seekers, mostly from Syria and Iraq.
Obviously, this unexpected influx in such a short time, you know, barely allowing the new immigrants time to integrate, kind of played out in many ways that...
Now this here starts playing into a lot of the other, goes hand in hand with a lot of the hip-hop that I react to, right? So, for those that are tapping into my channel for the first time, hey yo man, you want puff? Have a check of that. But 95% of the content on my channel is gangster rap, bro. You know what I mean? Drill, all that kind of shit. And I noticed that a lot of them are Swedish. They're from Sweden, but their actual, you know, the nationality is Swedish, but their actual blood, they come from somewhere else, you know what I mean? And this here is making perfect sense. Now, this is why I did this video, bro, because my channel depicts a lot of the gangster shit. I've been covering a lot of the war going on over there, bro, between the shotters and all that shit. And I thought it'd just be good to see something different from Sweden, bro, you know what I mean? Because, let's be honest, bro, when I come to Sweden, I'm not coming there to go to the hood. I'm not coming here to walk around the hood. I want to see the sights. I want to know about the people, man, you know what I mean?
International news.
Now, this is where the narrative kind of steps on thin ice because you want to be seen as compassionate, but you also can't avoid the fact that statistically problems that quiet Sweden had never really seen before obviously kind of started to arise. We've seen the news features, riots, multiple cities, crime rising, but at the same time, you also want to be seen as compassionate, but without sidestepping the issues. So the question was, how?
It's not an easy question to answer.
So, like, I don't know, what do you guys think of that whole situation of the drama?
You can see it as either win-win or lose-lose in many ways, because if you're completely against taking in immigrants, you're basically considered a racist. And if you're trying to turn a blind eye to the fact that, you know, crime has risen a lot the last years, then that's not great either. So I think this is
And yo, that doesn't, it's not just the people that, it's not just the immigrants' fault. You know what I mean? When there's a lack of structure for the immigrants that are moving there, they've got to find their own structure, and that's hard to do, bro, when you're from another country, bro. You know what I mean? When you're from a country and you've got the communities that are already the people of the country you're immigrating to, when they're looking down upon you, when they're suppressing you and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to try and fit in and to try and become a contributing member of society when that society doesn't really, when it's hard, when they don't accept you. You know what I mean?
It's a fairly new problem, and it takes some time to really figure it out.
It's difficult.
It's kind of a discussion of how to help people, you know, integrate into the society.
Facts, bro. Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly.
You know, how many people are gonna argue for all the benefits of
exactly what I was saying.
the country up and helping people, and those are huge as well.
Yeah. See, this is kind of part of the complication of Sweden. There's always like a dichotomy of ethics and consequences within their story. For example, they've been neutral, or at least on paper, for 200 years, yet that neutrality has always kind of been tested throughout the time.
In World War I, our choice not to intervene pretty much costed us the chance to integrate the Åland Islands.
And in World War II, Sweden took like almost all of Denmark's Jewish refugees. However, they did trade with Nazi Germany and let them use their railroad.
Shout out
Just
Sweden.
Like, what other choice did they have when they just witnessed and saw Denmark getting demolished and attacked?
Hey, shout out Sweden for helping all them Jews, bro. And obviously, they let them use the railroads. Otherwise, they would have got fucked up. And the railroads would have got taken anyway. You know what I mean?
Attacked and occupied in like 6 hours. It's like, do you stay neutral yet technically cooperate, or fight back with no chance and lose everything? So many heavy choices with no simple answers. Well, that was fantastic and uplifting.
In any case, we must move on. One thing Sweden definitely does actually feel uplifted by would be their heavy involvement in sports.
And with that, Art usually fills in for the sports part, but again, he's still on vacation with his family, so I don't know. Noah, why don't you fill in? All right, Noah, you got to be Art this time. He's gone, so, you know.
No, you missed the do, and you go to.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Sports in Sweden.
Fun
fact, they actually won a half medal at the 1900 Olympics, technically. They teamed up with Denmark in the tug-of-war event. Yes, there actually used to be a tug-of-war event in the Olympics, which does sound pretty cool.
For real?
Why would you get rid of that?
For real, there was tug-of-war? But I have a game of some tug of war. I'll have me a turn on some tug of war. Bro, I love Sweden, bro. And I'm coming, my niggas. I'm coming, bro. For real, for real. Bro, I had all the typical countries on the list that you would have thought. Right? I told you we got the bag up. We got the bag up. We're ready to come, nigga. But Corona's not ready to let us come. You know what I mean? We were meant to come. We were meant to come 2 years ago. Well, a year and a half ago now. But anyway, we had the typical countries on the list, right? France, you know, Paris, all that kind of shit. We have France on the list. You know, Germany's still on the list. Don't get it twisted. Germany's still on there. You know, Italy, all those kinds of places, bro. We had all these kinds of places on the list, but bro, we wiped the list clean. Now, well, we did that a while ago, and we're starting again. And Sweden's definitely on that list, bro. For real, for real.
I go to the Olympics to do tug of war. That'd be pretty awesome.
You could just be your own team, Noah.
There are two sports that kind of originated in Sweden, brandball and floorball. Brandball is kind of like baseball, and floorball is basically like hockey with a ball on the floor. So the thing about Sweden is that each of their neighbors is kind of like their biggest rivals in a certain sport. And of course, we can't mention football without mentioning their biggest player, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But depending on who you ask,
should I react to him?
Say that ice hockey is the national sport.
Should I react to him?
They became the first and so far only team to win both tournaments in the same calendar year, Olympics and World Championships.
Damn.
They're part of the big six that are considered the best ice hockey teams in the world, including Canada, Czechia, Finland, Russia, and the United States. That's the sports parts.
Thank you, Noah.
Damn. Shout out Sweden. I didn't know that, bro. Like, damn. I love sports, bro. It's my other passion, right? Sports. That's why I said, should I react to that, dude? No, I played rugby league for 26 years, you know what I mean?
So much culture in Sweden. Actually, if you want to learn more about it, just read The Adventures of Niels. He rides a goose around Sweden and learns some life lessons along the way or something.
With that, here's Random Hannah with culture stuff.
Hey guys, I'm back. Woo! In Sweden, you'll find that every region has its unique identity. For example, the Sami people of Lapland in the north, they have their reindeer herding, tents, and colt or yakti clothing. If you go
Is that where it's like summer, like in the summer it's daytime for a long time during it, like, you know what I mean? Night times for, like, you know?
South in Skåne, though, you'll find a radically different culture of glass blowing and silversmithing, stuff like that. Of course, we don't have time to dive into all the regions, but one thing you'll realize is that they all have a traditional costume, or folkdräkter. One thing you will see all over Sweden is the typical redwood farmhouse. They also have the dalahäst, a wooden horse usually painted red with patterns. And speaking of iconic animals, Swedes actually love Donald Duck, even more than Mickey Mouse. And every year during Christmas, they show Donald Duck and his friends wish you a Merry Christmas on the TV. Sweden also has...
Bullshit. Dude, really? That's cool as fuck, bro. That's cool as fuck, bro. Bugs Bunny's my man. Like, Bugs Bunny's my man, you know what I mean? Right. And I know he's not like, you know, Donald Duck kind of fucking Mickey Mouse type shit, but the bunny's my shit. But yo, fuck with Donald Duck, nigga, shit. Damn. I didn't know that. That's fire.
In the arts and literature department. And probably the most critically well known is Anders Zorn, who is commissioned to paint numerous high profile figures. Swedes are known for their crime, fiction, drama, and literature. They love the complex, moody scenarios. Many people attribute this guy, I'm not even going to try and say his name, as a founder of modern...
Sounds like me. She sounds like me on my reactions. Hey, yo, man, this song's called, yeah, I'm not even going to try that.
crime fiction. But the #1 best-selling Swedish author of all time is actually Astrid Lindgren. You've probably heard of her Pippi Longstocking series. And speaking of consumer media, if you want to learn about literature, history, and geography through film, check out Filmography Now, where we talk about people like Ingmar Bergman, who is a huge influential person in the film industry, and he was from Sweden. Finally, Sweden is known for having a ton of inventions and discoveries, such as nicotine gum, the pacemaker, the 3-point seatbelt, GPS, the ultrasound, dynamite, and the Celsius temperature scale. And 4 elements on the periodic table named after the town Ytterberg. I give up, guys. Too many strange vowels and sounds. And one thing you should give up on is Keith and his music segment. Take it away, Keith.
Wow, so we're finally talking about this country that I have, like, totally not any sort of bias towards. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I'm forgetting something. I hope everybody recognizes my favorite Swedish band right here. Let's talk about Sweden, shall we? Technically, Sweden doesn't have a national anthem. So they have this one song. It's called Du Gamma Du Fria. I guess it's
You don't have a national anthem,
but not the official one. There's tons of really great Swedish folk songs accompanied by the Swedish nickel harp. Kind of looks like a keyboard mixed with like a
oh snap! Just look at that. No, I need to look at it.
Kind of looks like.
Damn! Yo, I play the gap, right? So I play the guitar. I'm gonna go. I jam, like, but shit, it's got. It's not even a guitar. It's a fucking violin.
Like a keyboard mixed with violin. Who likes Strandberg guitars? I do. Just so many great guitar players. Per Nelson, greatest guitar player I think out of Sweden. There's also Yngwie Malmsteen, Ola Öglund, Michael Ackerfeldt. I don't understand why Scandinavia has produced some of the world's greatest guitar players. Anyways, Sweden has also a very pop-centric side.
Shit.
Who doesn't know ABBA? I Want to Be a Dancing Queen. ABBA won in 1974.
Now that he says that, I knew ABBA was Swedish. Now I remember that. But I grew up with ABBA. I think everyone in New Zealand grew up with ABBA. You know what I mean?
For the Eurovision contest. Also, now ABBA's actually going to be making a new album after doing 40 years of basically nothing. Since then, Sweden has been kind of the pioneers of like electro pop and dance music. More well-known artists might be like Avicii, the Carnigans, Swedish House Mafia, Roxette. Funny thing is a lot of American pop songs were written by Swedes. Max Martin has hundreds of songs. Before I go, some of the bands that I really do enjoy are...
He didn't mention no rappers.
Sabaton, there's Beardfish. I wish I could name them all. Anyways, you guys have a great one. Love y'all.
Thank you, Keith. Any music suggestions for Swedish music?
Robin. She's a great musician.
Benjamin Ingrosso is killing it.
Well, speaking of which, Carolina is a musician and an artist, and you can follow her Spotify at this link right here.
No.
I will promote it. I will promote your Spotify. Don't be all Logum or Yantalo and whatever that is on me. You got to promote yourself. This is America.
So far, released 3 Swedish songs, 1 English one.
You want to promote anything? You have a website? Anything?
No.
You were in a Norwegian movie and it got an Emmy Award.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Has touched the world
That's cool
in
as
so many
fuck.
ways. And another way Sweden has made its name across the world is by interacting with it. So let's move on to the friend zone.
Now Sweden has...
Hey, hold on. Ah, straight away, this is my country. The first dude. This is my flag right there, my niggas. I never noticed it, and I've watched this a lot of times. Like I've watched the Geography Nows, you know what I mean?
Interacting with it. So let's move on to the friend zone.
So here's my country there. That's my flag right there, my niggas.
Now Sweden has an interesting way of dealing with the rest of the world.
They kind of have a hands-off unless really necessary approach to international conflict.
For one, their security doctrine states that they have a nonpartisan stance in regards to military alliances. However, it permits cooperation with threats against peace security with their military. Yes, Sweden has a military. Nonetheless, they joined the EU in 1995, which some criticized as being against neutrality, but Sweden decided to see it as an extension of economic activity that had already been going on with the EU, and they also hold the right to not participate in EU defense. Today, they have 79 embassies abroad on all inhabited continents. In Asia, Iraq...
So basically, y'all niggas don't want to fight. You should rather just chill and do your own thing. Right? Let the world worry about their own shit and y'all niggas what? But I respect that. You know what I mean? I respect that. That's what the fuck I wish everyone else would do with me. I might want to move to Sweden. I wish everyone would just leave me the fuck alone. Let me do what the fuck I'm doing. And you do what the fuck you're doing. Sorry about all the swearing, but that's what the fuck it is.
actually has had relations way before
Y'all niggas get it.
back to the 30s when members of the royal family visited Baghdad to see King Ghazi of Iraq. In the 80s, Swedish companies opened up in Iraq, trade was developing well for a while, and after conflict years, many Iraqis chose Sweden as their destination as refugees. The USA and Canada have always been close, as the US has the largest Swedish diaspora community at over 4 million people, most heavily concentrated in Minnesota. Canada having just about 500,000 with a huge community in Manitoba. Between 1820 to 1930, about 1.3 million Swedes immigrated to the Americas, which was at that time about 1/3 of the entire country. And these nations not only had a close historical
1/3 of the entire country
bond, but in almost every diplomatic measure aside from military conflict, they've cooperated. Bringing it closer to home, Sweden is actually one of the top donors of Moldova in regards to aid and development. They set a strategy of cooperation in 2007, which gives 11 million euros dedicated to good governance, economy, and rural development. Now we go even closer to the inner circle, the Nordics. Every single one of these 5 nations and their territories has an opinion about Sweden, and the gossip is heavy. Finland is, of course, really close, as for about 600 years they were actually a part of Sweden. And today, Finns are one of the largest non-Swedish communities with a protected language in pockets throughout the country. For Iceland, it's like, we're cool with them, nothing against them. They talk like our ancient Norse ancestors, but otherwise, they're totally our distant cousins. Then we get to the last two, Denmark and Norway. Now here's the thing, each one kind of has a small historical gripe with Sweden. Denmark, as you know, has had more wars with Sweden than any 2 nations on Earth, constantly...
Damn. For real? I didn't know that one, nigga. Let's run that back.
Norway. Now here's the thing, each one kind of has a small historical gripe with Sweden. Denmark, as you know, has had more wars with Sweden than...
So Denmark, Sweden. Y'all niggas had beef for a minute. Shit.
Any 2 nations on Earth, constantly fighting over influence for Northern Europe. Norway was kind of pissed that Sweden's neutrality prevented them from intervening in war times when they thought the Swedish were like really close and Norway was even part of Sweden. This was especially evident in World War II. It was like the moment of tension. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, you cannot separate the Scandinavian trio. They just get each other too well. They share too much, they have the same general Scandinavian minds, they have that Viking blood, they are
run that a little bit back. Let me run that a little bit back.
On Earth.
Right.
Like our ancient Norse ancestors, but otherwise they're totally our distant cousins. Then we get to the last two, Denmark and Norway. Now here's the thing, each one kind of has a small historical gripe with Sweden. Denmark, as you know, has had more wars with Sweden than any 2 nations on Earth, constantly fighting over influence for Northern Europe. Norway was kind of pissed that Sweden's neutrality prevented them from intervening in war times when they thought the Swedish were like really close and Norway was even part of Sweden. This was especially evident in World War II. It was like the moment of tension. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, you cannot separate the Scandinavian trio. They just get each other too well. They share too much, they have the same general Scandinavian minds, they have that Viking blood, they are truly people of the North. After the insults have been hurled, they will probably say, okay, yeah, we love each other. Denmark and Sweden, though, will probably first hug Norway before hugging each other, but otherwise, yeah, inseparable trio.
All right, and in conclusion, you are the Swedes. I'm going to step out, hold the flag in the background while you speak freely from the heart.
I want to say in conclusion, Sweden is a beautiful country with beautiful nature, beautiful architecture, if we haven't mentioned that just yet.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, if you meet a Swedish person, he or she might be a little I'm not sure about you, but lead on with a smile and some love, and you'll get the exact same back, I promise you.
I like that. That was good.
My name's...
Well, thank you guys so much for being in this episode, and stay tuned. Switzerland is coming up.
Yo, shout out Sweden. Shout out Sweden, yo. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, bro. I hope that if you haven't tapped into Sweden before, you learned a little bit just like I did. That was dope, bro. Go check out part 1 if you haven't already. You should have. But it'll be popping up here, bro, along with the Swedish playlist that I've reacted to. All the hip-hop stuff, you know what I mean? So make sure you tap on that, run the numbers up. Hey, yo, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everyone enjoys the new year. I hope everyone enjoyed the new year, and I hope everyone's got big plans, and I hope everyone achieves those goals for 2022. So, yo, bro, we got big things happening over here on YouTube, so make sure that you hit the notification bell, tap that like button, subscribe, stay safe, stay dangerous, and I'm out. Peace, yo.